Hey guys, and today I will be showing you how to solve the cross on a 3x3 Rubik's Cube more efficiently and faster. Now, if you don't know, the cross is used in several methods. The beginner's method for one, and if you know that, this will help you. But this is mainly meant for people who are learning CFOP or the Friedrich method. And I actually will post a series of videos showing C, the cross, the F, or F2L, or first two layers. Yeah, there's a lot of acronyms for the Rubik's Cube, but that basically means you just solve the second layer. I will be posting a video on that. And then I will be posting the intermediate steps for the O and the P, or OLL and PLL. Just for those of you who don't know, OLL is turning all of these yellow ones up, facing up, and PLL is positioning them so the cube is solved. But I will be showing you two look, OLL and PLL, which reduces the number of algorithms significantly, and but adds a couple more steps. But in this video, we will be looking at the cross. So, for those of you who don't know, any cross can be solved in 8 moves or less. I'll be showing you how to look ahead, and you get 15 seconds of WCA inspection time in competitions. So you want to be able to plan ahead enough so that you could plan your entire cross in those 15 seconds and just go straight into the next step. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you some example solves and also just kind of what you could do. And also another tip is you might be used to solving the cross on the top because yes, that is easier, but it's much faster if you solve it on the bottom because it avoids unnecessary cube rotations. So you don't have to do an entire cube rotation and then start looking for your pieces. You could start looking for your pieces at once, and you might even be able to look at your pieces while solving the cross if you are that good at look ahead. So another thing that you could do is when it's on the bottom, it also allows you to see more edge pieces. When you're like this, you might have to check on the bottom a lot and turn the cube all around just looking for them. So it's a lot easier to see edges, and it might seem really confusing at first, but trust me, you'll get used to it and it'll be much faster. Okay, so here I have a scrambled Rubik's Cube, and what I could do, I see right off the bat is I see this. I see a white edge piece that is already in the correct face. So I could instantly just do that. But what we're trying to do now is we're trying to look ahead and we're trying to plan in our 15 seconds. So you want to keep this in mind. You also want to keep this in mind because this is the same thing. And this and here are the other two. So what I would do is I would position the ones that are correct first since there's two of them. So the ones that there are more of, you want to put in first. And what I mean by that is if there's more like this that only have to be turned once that way, like once clockwise to be solved, then you want to put more clockwise in. Basically, you want to be able to solve the entire cross without making them perfectly lined up until the last move or something. So what I'm going to do is for this one, I would see that I could do this without messing anything up. And then I could also do this, but that will change that there. Now what I could do is, since this has to go once clockwise and this has to go twice, I know that if I do it once counterclockwise and put that in, they all have to be once clockwise. And then if I do another one counterclockwise and turn that in, they're all opposites. See? Now I could just do a double turn on the bottom and the cross is completely solved. Now, you want to be able to think of this all in your inspection time. I'll give you a couple tips on how to do that. Let's scramble it again. Okay, so now that it's scrambled, this is a slightly harder case. As you could probably see, the edge pieces are all over the place. Now, there are good edges and bad edges. Good edges are ones where they're either facing away like this and I could turn them in, or maybe they're facing up and I could just, again, turn them in. Bad edges are ones like this, where you can't turn them in with a single move, but you can kind of go like that, and they're in. Same with these. This is another bad edge. Now, what you want to do is when you're solving good edges, you want to make as many bad edges good. So like what I mean by that is if I were to try to put this one in like that and then do a double turn, that would just be wasting moves. I could do this first, and then when I move to turn that down, this is already in the right spot. So when I do a double turn and move it down, they're both in the right spot. And then from there, what I could do is I could do a double turn on the top. That will move that there. And when I turn to do this, I could move the bottom again, turn that down, and then go like that, basically solving the cross. Now, if you're thinking, how could I possibly remember all of this? Don't worry, it takes practice. You will not be able to plan your whole cross first try in 15 seconds. While you're practicing, make sure you don't just give yourself 15 seconds. You give yourself as much time as it takes to plan your entire cross. And instead of getting farther on the cross as you practice, your seconds should go down. So start off, it took me like 30 plus seconds when I first started off doing this to plan my entire cross. So you should do that and then slowly decrease your time until you can get to 15 seconds. And once you get to 15 seconds, then you could just stop at 15 seconds. So there's a couple ways I want to show you how to make good edges bad edges. There are almost really bad edges that you can't make good with by placing in a good edge. And there are so this is not bad because there are already two edges that are in and in the right spot. And I could just make this one go in again, and then I could go like that, turn that to there, put it in, and move that back if I wanted to. So that what I mean by that is I place the orange edge in, place the red edge in, and place that back. But there are slightly more efficient ways to do this. One way being you turn that like that. So turn it down once, and then bring the red here. And as you do the second double turn, do a D move, place it in, and undo the D move. So what that does is instead of having to place in the bad edge all by itself, it makes a bad edge good while placing in a good edge. So that's kind of what you want to think of while you're solving your cross. How can I make bad edges good without wasting moves? So if you get a really bad case like this where every single edge is a bad edge, then you might want to try and get a few in. So here, this is a bad edge, bad edge, bad edge, bad edge. What you might want to do is you might want to think of getting multiple bad edges to be good edges at once. So what I could do is I could, so I could turn this front edge, or this front face, and that automatically connects this. It doesn't automatically connect this, but it makes it a good edge. And now what I could do is I could put this in, and what that does is it makes this bad edge another good edge placed in correctly. Now before you put this in, now if you put this in, that might be tempting, but look, you'll make this a bad edge again. So what you might want to do is you might want to do D move, put it in, undo the D move. So you see that puts it in the right spot, and then turn that back. And then you could just put this edge in. What that does is it's just a lot faster to do it that way. Okay, so what about a case like this where you have one that's incorrect, that is in like correctly, and one that is like on the cross part but in incorrectly? See, this one is in the right spot, the orange spot, but this one has to go in the green spot instead of the red spot. What you might want to do is, since this has to go once clockwise, you see that this also has to go once clockwise, this blue one. So what you might want to do is you might want to place that down. Now both of these edges are in correctly. Now you might want to just instantly put them in the right spot, but no, you see you have this red here, so you want to make them so they're double, like you need a D2 turn to fix them. Then you could put this red in, and then you could do the double turn and put this orange in. So there's just ways that you could improve on your cross. Okay, so here's another one where there is one that is incorrect and one that is incorrectly, or that is in the right position and is correct. So, but this time there is nothing that you could put in here. You could put this one in, but look, that is across from each other, and this, you need a counterclockwise rotation. So, well, I also encourage you to learn the color scheme, because that helps you to know whether you need like clockwise or counterclockwise, and you could put things in. And again, you might want to be able to do things with just a single like D turn at the end, and that will completely solve your cross. So you want to save that to the end. Now, what would I do in this situation? So since this is across from each other, right, and I have one here that needs to be across and one here that needs to be across, I can move this across from each other, and then when I put this in, that automatically takes it out of the bottom layer. And then when I do a double turn to put this one in, that leaves it here. So if you notice, there's one spot left here, so you could do a D turn, I could put it in, and here's that last move. See, everything needs to be turned once counterclockwise, so once you turn it, everything is solved. So those are just a couple of example cases. If you have any other example cases that you think of that you think I missed, just leave a comment down below and I will try to help you out. So thanks for watching, and I encourage you to check out the rest in this playlist, F2L, and then 2-look OLL and 2-look PLL. So see you later.